Tonight's live is all about fingerstyle guitar or finger picking. And this is an awesome style of playing the guitar. It's an awesome rhythm style. It's probably my favorite style of playing guitar because it's the most beautiful, most expressive. It's kind of like piano playing where you're providing bass, harmony and chords and melody all at the same time. And you can do some amazing stuff. Let's just, for example, maybe. All right, that kind of stuff. Really cool stuff. So let's get right into it here. We won't waste any time. Glad you guys could join me. We always have a good time hanging out before the live. We're just chatting here, having a good chat. So yeah, first things first. So jumping right into it. If you haven't seen my bass, lesson yet, last week's lesson was all about bass style. So you want to review that because a lot of the things we talked about there ties over to this lesson. Okay. So first thing we want to mention is the guitar neck is broken up. The guitar has 6 strings, as you know, and it's divided into groups of 3. So there's 3 bass strings and there's 3 treble strings. Okay, just like that picture there. So make sure. So that's a good way to understand the neck when you're looking down at it. It's not just a maze of strings divided into 2. So 3 bass strings and 3 treble strings. Okay, and then. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Before we get playing, the first thing you want to do is, for fingerstyle guitar, you want to make sure you grow your nails out a little bit longer on your strumming hand. Because if you don't have nails, you're not going to get a very good tone when you're plucking the strings. The nails really provide a nice sharp sound while you're playing. So you're going to want to get one of these nail files. It might look a little funny, but this is awesome because it's going to smooth your nails down and buff them and make them nice and smooth so that when you do play, you're going to get a nice smooth tone. If you don't do that, you can get a real gravelly, kind of rocky sound, like scrapey, harsh sound, and you don't want that. So you grab one of these buffers at the dollar store and go through it and buff all your nails and make sure they're a bit longer on your strumming hand, okay? Okay, now we'll get into it. So that was a word from our sponsors. Not really. So divide the strings into 3 and 3, and then moving on here. Okay, so just like in our bass lesson from last week, your thumb has a busy job, okay? Your thumb is going to be the busiest in this situation, in this style of playing. So your thumb is going to always play your top 3 bass strings, okay? So it's going to alternate between your top 3 strings, so your 4th, 5th, and 6th string. Its job is to pluck your bass notes. Just like on the piano, that would be your left hand on the piano, okay? Now, this is a hard, fast rule, and you have to stick with this to develop a really great technique. Your first finger always plays the G string, okay? So your first finger always plays the 3rd string of the G string. Your second finger always plays the B string or the 2nd string. Your 3rd finger always plays the high E string. So I have a picture here for you to see. See my, I got my thumb on the bass strings there. And then my first finger, second finger, and 3rd finger are playing the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings. Okay, so that's the major rule when learning fingerstyle guitar. If you don't do this, by doing this, it's going to enable you to develop a really solid foundation and technique so that you'll be able to play any fingerstyle song at all. This is how classical players play, okay? If you don't do this, I've seen people pluck where they just go, they're just using their one finger. They go like this. That'll get you so far, but it's going to limit you to what you're going to be able to do. So stay away from that. Get into this assigning a finger to a string. All right. And let's move on here. So there's a little tablature showing you what it would look like. Okay. So your thumb is going to play the A string. First finger plays the G string. Second finger plays the B string. And third finger always plucks the high E string. So that's my rule for tonight. Okay. And then, so the first pattern we're going to learn, when you're learning fingerstyle, it's all based on patterns at first, when you first start playing. So first pattern we're going to learn is this one. Okay. So, sorry, I was up late last night writing music with a friend of mine, and I'm a little bit sleepy. So bear with me. Okay. So this is the first pattern. So we're going to go thumb on the A string. Oh, yeah. Okay. Another thing I forgot to say. When you're playing your chords, just like the bass strum style, so if you're playing an A chord, your thumb will pluck the A root note. If you're playing an E chord, so like that. If you're playing an E chord, your thumb will pluck the E bass note. If you're playing a D chord, thumb plucks the D bass note. And then if you're doing your G chord, your thumb plucks the G note. Oh, sorry. C chord, thumb plucks the C note. Same as your bass strum pattern, okay? Same idea, same theory. Okay, so let's try our first pattern. So we have an A chord. So we're going to pluck the A bass note. And then we're just going to do our pattern here. So it looks like thumb, there's third finger, second finger, and then first finger. So it's going to sound like this. All right, so you can practice that over and over again and play that for a long time. So you can watch TV or do whatever you're doing, watch YouTube, watch some of my videos, and just practice that pattern over and over again to the point where you can do it without thinking. You can carry on a conversation and do that pattern. Nice and even, steady, smooth as possible, okay? Yeah, so turn on a TV show and do that. I used to do this for hours and hours. I used to just play these patterns. I'd play that for like an hour straight. And it's gonna like, you're gonna develop the muscle memory. It's gonna get inside you. You're gonna internalize it to the point where you're not gonna be not able to do it. So that's the pattern we have to know. Now, if I want to change chords, I would drop down to the D string for the D chord. And it's just the same pattern. The only thing is my thumb changed the bass note. Back to A, my thumb jumps up to the next string. Change the bass note. E. Change the bass note. But my treble fingers do the same pattern the whole time. All right? So internalize that pattern, get it down, and we're going to be set. And then we're going to apply to what we learned to a real song situation. Okay, so here's this pattern just written out like on a grid so you can see how the timing works. So we got 4/4 time. So that means there's 4 beats per measure. So per block, there's 4 beats in each of those blocks. So thumb means your thumb, ring is ring finger, middle is middle finger, I is index finger. And it just goes with the count. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So each pluck is a beat of the bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how you count it. How you guys doing in the chat over there? Hey, Corbin, is that you? I can see you. Yeah, thanks for joining, Corbin. I think that's Corbin, or it's either Hudson or Corbin. Hey, thanks for joining. And we got Everly. Hey, Everly. And Nate's still here. Rob. Hey, Rob. Thanks for joining. I think that's Rob. Doing a little guitar lesson here tonight on the live. Okay, so we got that pattern down. And we're going to apply it to a real song situation. Okay, so let's bring up our song. Okay, so we're doing Leaving on a Jet Plane again. And it's broken down. We got 4/4 time. We got our 2 bars on the top. So 2 bars, 2 measures per line. And it's just that same pattern. So each chord gets 1 cycle through the pattern. Okay. Hey, Corbin. Great to see you guys. Hudson will be home at Christmas time. Okay. So sorry. This is going to sound like this. Okay. So, okay. I'm a little bit off here tonight. Okay. So I got the 4/4 time. We got our chords on the top, and we're just cycling through the pattern 1 time through the pattern per chord. And that is 4 beats. Okay. So it'll sound like this. So A, D, switch back to A, D, switch back to A, D, and then E. Oh, thanks, Rob. Okay, so let's make it a little bigger so you can see it, see what my fingers are doing. Okay, so watch my thumb. It's alternating on the 3 bass strings, and these 3 fingers are always playing the same pattern on my treble strings. Okay, so one more time. All right, awesome. So let's add the words to it. And then we'll be able to do a real song, applying it to a real song situation. Okay. All right, let's do it. So 2, ready. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. All right, you did it. Your first fingerstyle lesson and your first fingerstyle song performance, Leaving on a Jet Plane. So let me know if you have any questions about that. Pretty straightforward. So I just had a pattern. My thumb was plucking the bass notes of the chord. So for A, I was plucking the A string. D, I was plucking the D string. E, I was plucking the E string. And the thumb was doing all the work because it was alternating strings there. My first, second, and third finger did the same pattern on the treble strings every single time. Oh, thanks, Rob. Yeah, we work hard. We try our best for you guys. We'll bring you the best gold that we can come up with. Okay, so there's a song for you. You can try it at home and just do that pattern. 1 pattern, cycle through per chord. And then when you feel comfortable with that, just do it over and over again. It's going to take a lot of time. Don't feel like you're going to be able to get it right away. Probably take, a good week of just smoothing it out, getting it going, and then apply it to the song. And then when you feel comfortable doing the pattern, when you can get the pattern down without thinking about it, then you can add the words and start singing. Okay. So yeah, super fun. Just want to leave you with one more thing. So that's 1 pattern you can do. So now there's other patterns that you can apply as well for fingerstyle. Okay. So this is a 4/4 pattern. So it's the 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, now I want to leave you with maybe 2 more patterns before we go. So that was like from high to low. You can do the same type of pattern, only go from low to high. So now instead of starting with my 3rd finger, I'm starting with my first finger. So watch this. Okay, so there's another way you can play it. So that's a second pattern. And then a third pattern is a little more intricate. Okay, once you master those two patterns, this is a third pattern. So it's first 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2. Easier if you just listen to it and figure it out. Okay. So that would sound like this. Okay, so that's a little more advanced pattern. So when you master those first two, then you can get into this third one. And that'll keep you busy for a nice long time, okay? And then you can apply that pattern to leaving on a jet plane. So I'm leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. So that's really nice. So you count that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's how it would be counted. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right. Okay. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. I hope this lesson was helpful for you. Quick review. Guitar. The guitar is thumb plays the bass notes, top 3 strings. First finger plays the G string. Second finger plays the B string. Third finger plays the high E string. Always do that. Don't venture off that. There's a tab for you to see what it looks like. Your first pattern sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then it's tabbed out like that. It's marked out like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we apply it to a real song situation. All right, so practice, go back over the video, review it, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it.